You are listening to or watching What's the Tea, and my name is Lydia.
My name's Andy.
And we are two former support workers trying to navigate adult life. We are in no way experts. You would have missed us, well, me trying to work out this whole system. In no way an expert in adulting life.
You had it worked out.
I know, and then I started messing about. As you can see, not experts at adulting life. And also, just to point out to, I guess, the listeners as well as the people that watch the podcast, it is a different, to everyone, it is a different setup we have got today. We are remote recording from our own hubs, our own homes.
Yes.
This is how it's going to go.
Yes. So anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
Kittens. We could have random Amazon delivery drivers.
Yeah.
Hopefully not coming into shots.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. And as well as remote recording, we're doing things a little differently as well. In that often, well, at least what we've tended to do recently, is that we've kind of talked like around one big subject that you don't really hear talked about in polite, normal, day-to-day conversation. This week, we're going to try and talk about absolutely everything under the sun.
Yeah, we're going to just talk
almost
rubbish.
5. Well,
which is what me and Andy are good at.
Ish, yes. But we're talking rubbish about 5-ish different subjects. 5-ish things. Why do I say ish?
Because they are ish.
Well, more to the point, I've not actually counted. How many things?
Neither have I.
So we'll go see what happens. I only saw the notes
this morning, so even though you sent them yesterday. So prepared. Prepared.
So prepared.
Yeah, so professional. But first of all, I would just like to acknowledge, so as our listeners may know, we started this podcast on a private kind of platform for our alumni, so our ex-residents that used to live at the YMCA Exeter. And we posted on the Facebook page kind of what topics people might want us to talk about in today's episode. And one ex-resident in particular came up with a really interesting topic. A topic of trust was suggested by them. Particularly the topic of building trust between kind of support workers or professionals and service users. And we loved this idea so much that we wanted to acknowledge it in this episode, but we feel that it's a whole episode in itself. So watch your space, because we will have an episode on this in next season. And you have heard correctly, we are going to have another season. Boop, boop. I think we'll be on season 4.
Yes. So this is going to be the last kind of main episode. We've got one more coming up, which we'll talk about again later. But this is like the last one focused around us two. Mm-hmm. But yeah, basically, we felt this was too much of a bigger topic, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just felt it wouldn't do it justice just by talking about it for a couple of minutes. We felt that, me and Andy love to talk, and we felt like we could talk about half an hour about this specific topic.
And then potentially moving on to something really quite random.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a bit of tone shock.
Exactly.
Shall we talk about some of our feedback?
Yeah, go for it.
Now, we released an episode a couple of weeks back about anxiety and what it was and how to deal with it and why that feeling kind of comes along.
Yeah.
We had some feedback from our alumni group, which I loved. One bit of feedback was, I'm quite a fan of just going for a drive somewhere with music I like, talking to friends that actually care, help, and so for the ones that kind of mean something to you, and the ones that generally check in daily to ask how you are. We've also got one which...
Oh, I loved this one. This individual said, music helps me a lot. I can't go out without my headphones. And I replied and said, oh...
There's a playlist.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what do you listen to? And they said a playlist called Divorce Dadcore, which is just dad rock. Lol. Very good. So you've heard it here, guys. Divorce Dadcore has its own playlist on Spotify. Have you given it a listen to, Andy? As a dad?
I haven't checked it out, but anything that sounds like dad rock appeals to me.
Yeah, Yeah. So great feedback, great suggestions from our listeners around kind of some coping mechanisms there for anxiety. Loved them.
And having a set playlist as well, like
Yeah.
a playlist that I'm going to put on my headphones. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And I liked going for a drive with the music blasting, singing, the top of your lungs, like nobody's listening. Love it.
Yeah, I guess windows up so no one can hear you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Love it.
We also talked about stress this year. This season.
Felt like a year.
And I guess there's something I thought I should feed back after that. In that, the other day, you know those days when they don't go bad, they just don't go right, and it's just all a bit.
Well, if it doesn't go right, then surely it doesn't go bad. Did you say, or wrong?
It's not dramatically wrong. It's just nothing. It's just
If
not a lot of pleasure
then it goes wrong.
out of that day.
I know, but the opposite of things going right, Andy, is going wrong.
It's not the most straightforward day, is what I guess what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It's all a bit dull, there's no joy there, and I kind of found myself in our kitchen, and everyone was upstairs, and there's a song on the speaker. I'm not going to say the name of the speaker because it might burst into life. And for some bizarre reason, the advice that we were talking about stress and about how sometimes you need to do something differently, like even dancing, just came to mind. So I just threw my arms up in the air, did the drunk giraffe dance, and just threw my arms around, danced a little bit. No one was watching. Great fun. My top tip, though, if you were to ever do
What's a drunk giraffe dance?
It's a whole thing when you kind of throw your arms in the air, kind of throw them from side to side.
That's just surely waving your hands in the air. How's that a drunk giraffe?
Because you look like a giraffe swaying.
Okay, take your word for it.
Yeah. My top tip, though, is to make sure you're not holding a drink at that time.
Did you hold a drink whilst you were doing it?
I may have had a can in my hands.
Okay.
Are you cans whilst you can drink out of.
Also, are you able to give our dedicated watchers of our podcast a little glimpse of your drunk giraffe dancing? Because I'd like to also see this as well.
If I remember whilst putting the show notes together, I might include a link to an example of it from an episode of Doctor Who.
You're not going to show us?
It's not going to look pretty in this sort of setup. Camera right there. It's just not going to work.
I've got chairs in the way. I've got
desks.
Yeah, these are sounding like excuses, Andy. These are sounding like excuses.
Excuses or technical reasons?
Excuses. I think the listeners would agree. The listeners want what I want. See Andy do some drunk giraffe dancing, not driving, dancing.
But the key point of that story wasn't just if you're going to throw your arms up in the air, make sure you don't have a drink in your hands whilst you're doing it. But also, it's okay to dance when no one is watching.
I love doing that in my home. It's a real good stress release.
What else have we got?
Yeah, I saw the next bit.
Yeah. So, as the driver out of the two of us,
Do you not drive?
No, not really. I've not driven for. I do have a license. I've not driven for years. I don't enjoy it. It's
fair enough.
Annoys me.
I did not know that about you. I learned something today.
I cycle lots.
I know you cycle lots, but I didn't know
safer.
It was. Yeah, true. But as the driver, sorry, I cut you off. Sorry.
I feel you are probably more ready to address the topic that was suggested.
I'm not sure about that, but let's go for it.
Which has been to talk about advancements in car technology.
Done me dirty, Andy, because you know me. As long as a car gets me from A to B, I don't care what it is.
Well, so welcome to What's the Car podcast.
I guess they're talking about, electric cars going from petrol to electric. Is that what they're asking?
I mean, it could be. I mean, I guess when you look at it from a kind of large-ish spectrum of time, cars have almost become like gadgets.
Oh,
Really,
100%. Yeah.
in that once upon a time they were literally you kind of had to wheel the window up. You used to have like a little clutch you had to
Do you know
pull.
what? Talking about cars, my first ever car many, many moons ago had a
Go
sunroof,
on.
right? My first ever car. I
Hmm.
felt so cool because I was like, I've got a sunroof. But I had
Yeah,
to wind the sunroof open. So there I'm driving. So I'm
yeah,
driving like
yeah.
this. And I was literally like this. Trying to wind the sunroof open as I was driving. And then
And
you'd have to
now,
wind it
what would you
down,
do?
press a button. Or you'd
I
go,
mean, classic
or you'd
example.
say the brand of the car, or some of them have got Google in it, and you'd be
Mm,
like, open sunroof, and it does it for you. Some
yeah,
cars. It's crazy.
yeah. I mean, you can now talk to your cars. You can now
Yeah.
have like really. I mean, what was it? Was it Tesla? That actually looks like a massive, great big screen in front of your car, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
have
To be
you
fair,
heard?
all electric cars have that now. Like, my dad has an electric car, and
Mm,
it looks like a spaceship inside.
yeah.
Not that I know what a spaceship
Mm,
looks like, but it's what I'd imagine a spaceship to look like. But it is
mm.
literally just one big computer screen in front of his steering wheel, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Have you heard the thing? And this could actually be quite helpful to you in your new role, kind of going all over the place.
Mm.
Microsoft Teams is being
Yes.
integrated within some brands of cars. So basically, you can join a Microsoft Teams call from your car. What I wouldn't suggest doing this, but
It doesn't
technically
seem
you could.
safe.
It feels
Because they also say, like, some companies say that they don't want you answering company calls in the car because obviously it's a level of distraction, isn't it? For you not
hmm.
focusing on driving. But also, like, I don't have to worry about that because I don't even connect my work phone to my car. It's only my personal because it's got my music on it.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, I guess you could make the argument that you could get in your car. You're going from A to B,
mm,
and you can travel a little bit before the Microsoft Teams meeting.
yeah.
You pull over, you find a car park, you join. I mean, let's face it, it's not really going to happen. People are going to be joining
No.
Microsoft
But
Teams
then the thing is
calls
though,
and
like, if Teams
live
is part of
streaming there.
if the Teams is part of the tech, like, as in it's the app in the tech, is there
Mm.
a camera or is it just your voice?
Ooh,
Because if it's just your voice, then you might as well just do a conference call.
yeah.
Because you can do, like, group calls. You can have multiple people on one phone call.
Mm.
So I don't see the point of Teams if you can't see your face. Like, can you imagine if the camera's there and your steering wheel?
But imagine, right? You're trying to go on holiday, and all of a sudden you have a Microsoft Teams call come through, and it's like, surprise!
Well, you just
No
wouldn't use your
escape.
work phone, would you? Because I think it's all connected through your CarPlay. I don't think it's like an app in the car. That was my understanding when I heard about it. But anyway.
Well, I don't know, because I think it's specific to some car makers,
Yeah.
which suggests that it's not kind of based on the phone.
Oh, okay. I don't
So,
like that.
because if it's based on the phone, then technically, I'd be able to have a Teams call in my car.
Yeah, I read it as just like CarPlay have added it to it. I didn't realise it was car brands that had added it to it. I thought it was like CarPlay in general. But yeah, no, I wouldn't like that personally. Like, if I'm on holiday, I don't want to think about work. I don't want a Teams call coming up. I don't want people
So
being able to have access to me on holiday.
there'll be no getting away from Teams.
No. And what I would say just quickly on advancements in car technology, if they're talking about electric cars, I feel that there's still a lot that needs to be done with electric cars for it to be, I think, fully for us to be able to fully have them, because obviously they want to roll out electric cars. So, like, there's a certain date that the government aim that everyone will have an electric car. because it's better for the environment. However, there's things that they need to do in order to make that a reality, which is us being able to have more electricity, like power grids, to be able to deal with the increased electricity demand. They also need to look at increasing the range of the cars driving on electric, because at the moment the range isn't great compared to some other cars that were on petrol. So if you're traveling for work, you would be worse, you'd be worse off in some cases, because the
Yeah, I
mileage
guess it's for
doesn't
long
quite add up.
distance traveling, isn't it?
Yeah. So like some cars you could, I don't know, with the bigger tanks, you can have you can go further without
Yeah.
having to fill up with petrol. But with electric, it's kind of about 300 miles roughly before you have to charge, which is a lot less than certain people would have in petrol cars. So I think there's still some more advancements that need to be made. But I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. We need to help the planet. We need to help the future generations. We need to help those polar bears.
One thing that has just occurred to me is that there's probably a ton of things that we now take for granted that weren't like a thing 20-ish years ago. Such as in some cars you can have like that button that will auto kind of demist your back window.
Yeah.
And that is awesome. You've got the little cameras that kind of let you see that you're about to reverse into someone.
I have one of those. That's why I'm good at parking. If I didn't have one of those, it'd be awful. Yeah, and also I think like my dad's car is I don't know, it's a super gadget. I love it. So he has an app on his phone that's connected to his car, so he can lock his car from his phone, unlock his car, but also he can heat it up before he gets in it, or cool it
That is
down before he
cool.
gets in it. So like he'll be like, "Oh, I'm leaving in 5 minutes. Let's just," and he can put a timer on it for it to heat it up or cool it down, and demist it, and all of these things before he gets in it.
That is wow. Okay, so I feel we should probably move on.
Move on. Yeah, there's so much we can talk about that topic. But yeah,
it turns out there's a lot we can talk about here in
who would
regards
have
to
thought?
advancements in car tech. So
Yeah,
thank you for that suggestion.
yeah,
As
thank
a
you.
thing to talk about. Got to admit, when I first saw it, I was like, crikey.
What are we going to talk about?
We've just
we. To be fair though, Andy, we can talk about anything.
yeah, I guess given enough time.
Yeah,
So
we can
it's like
talk
given enough time
rubbish.
to kind of we can
Again, if they could see our group chats, they could tell that we could talk about
now before we
nothing.
start before we go there, let me try and keep you on task.
And he's like, "Oh my goodness,
Crikey, is this more unhinged than we are in the studio? Possibly.
Don't make me laugh when I'm drinking coffee."
Marvel.
Love Marvel.
Now, all of this entire episode kind of came from we should just sit down and talk about Marvel. And it kind of got away from us from that point onwards. Apologies if those beeps just came up on the recording. But let's talk Thunderbolts.
Loved it.
Absolutely. And I kind of wish I had a chance to watch it again recently.
Yeah, no. Loved it. I felt there was just so many good conversations that could be had from that movie in terms of the themes and the discussions that I think you could have from it. So like, let's just talk about some of the themes. So there was like things about grief in it, imposter syndrome, depression, loneliness, so much. Good versus evil, all of those things. Are we all, if we do bad things, are we inherently bad? Can we not be good? So really interesting, I think, topics and conversations that came from that movie.
It's very much, your past doesn't have to define you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta own it and kind of realize and know that it wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be who you are now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
And
to see that wrapped up, and to see all of that wrapped up in like a superhero kind of dressing, I was like, flipping heck.
100%, 100%. Because it's like, yes, they all did something bad, or not great, in the past.
Mm.
But it doesn't mean they can't do something good. But also, it's we can't escape our past. Like, our past is part of us. We can't really run from it. We can just embrace it, learn from it, move on from it. And I think that was just really interesting to see that unfold in a storyline in a Marvel movie.
And there are setbacks as well. I'm going to attempt to explain this without the use of spoilers. But there's a moment where the Red Guardian does a thing, and it's like he is the hero right now. You can see it on his face that he has just saved the day. And all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, that moment is taken away from him.
Yeah.
I gasped. I wasn't watching in cinema. I totally gasped at that moment. Later on, when, geeking out about it online, I came across a meme like saying, yeah, admit it, you gasped when this happens. I was like, yeah, that's me. I was like, I wasn't the only one. So it was obviously kind of there. And I'm like, there are setbacks, but he didn't let it define him. And he kind of, he had to focus on the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry if I was pulling faces whilst you were talking. It wasn't because of anything you said. My kitten has just decided that my arm is tasty.
Oh, okay. Well,
like eating and scratching me.
well, listeners, watchers, we promised you chaos and said that anything can happen. Lydia's arm being eaten by a cat, I think, probably covers. Wow.
Yeah. She's a little monster at times.
And if you are listening, find us on YouTube for the up close detail of
the
Lydia's
wounds
arm.
of my arms. But yeah,
after it's been eaten.
I also think as well, there's a lot about comparison as well in the movie. So, what's her name again? The main character, the one that Florence Pugh plays. Yeah, no. But what's her name? The sister of Black Widow.
Yes.
What's she called?
Yeah, the new Black Widow.
Oh, you can't call her the new Black Widow. She's not replacing the Black Widow.
She is.
No, she's not. She's her own person. What's her name? Yelena. So Yelena is the sister of Black Widow, and obviously Black Widow was part of the Avengers. She was like a key character. Obviously, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched all the Marvel movies, stop here. But also, where you been? Because they've been out for a while. But she constantly is trying to compare herself to her sister in it and thinking about her sister and everything in it. And it's just like, actually, if you compare yourself, like comparison, and I think we've talked about this before in previous episodes, comparison can be our worst enemy when we're constantly trying to compare ourselves to other people to be like, well, they did this or they were like this and they were a hero. Don't know why there's a thumbs up. Don't know how that's happened. I've got bubbles coming up on my screen. This is pure chaos. Anyway, so yeah, just that theme and that kind of thing that came out from it, I just thought was really interesting. Because we have talked about it before.
Nice. Now, one more movie talk.
Yeah. Oh,
K-pop
this is my favourite one.
Hunters.
Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. So I've been talking about K-pop. I'd been talking about K-pop Demon Hunters for a while, and I was like, Andy, you need to watch it. Your daughter needs to watch it. She's going to love it. The other day, Andy was like, guess what I've just watched? And I gasped when I saw it in the group chat, and I went, no way. You had that moment of gasping in that movie? I had a gasp when you sent that message. And I was like, K-pop Demon Hunters. And he was like, yep, I've watched it, and I loved it. And I was like,
It's actually
yeah,
quite good.
it is. It's such a good movie, even if
It's
it
on
is meant for
downstairs
kids.
right now, in fact, and I kind of wish I was down there.
Yeah, it's so good. So, won't go into any spoilers because it's still quite a relatively. It's been out for about a month, but it's still quite a
Yeah, we've
relatively
got to be
new
careful
movie.
what we say about it.
But just to kind of explain, the kind of not synopsis, what's it called, like the blurb of it.
The blurb.
Yeah, the blurb is basically it's about a K-pop band that hunt demons, and
Yeah.
their voices and their songs help fight demons and stop the portal from the demon world erupting into the world and destroying it. And one of the people in the band has a secret, and there is a risk of this secret unveiling itself as time goes on. And then there's this kind of rival band that comes, and there's a bit of a conflict. And it's like, where's this band come from? Who are they? Are they good? So that's kind of the synopsis.
It is basically a story about identity, the lies we tell ourselves, wrapped up in a kid's movie.
100%. Yeah.
And yeah.
And again, I think there's like an element
No
as
notes.
well. I think there's an element as well of kind of one of them saying that they're bad. Again, similar to Thunderbolts, you know, they've done bad things, so they're a bad person, and actually their past doesn't define them, even though someone is saying, you are a bad person, you aren't worthy of anything good. But actually he just did something bad. And actually he could get his soul back and become a decent person if he wanted to. As long as he, you know, embraced that part of him. And the music, the music's so good.
It is very catchy.
It is. But also, I just think, like, I said this before to you, Andy, and I want your take on it.
Okay.
The three main songs, so Golden, This Is What I Sound Like, and Free, those three songs, if you were to hear them on the radio with no context that they're from a movie, a kid's movie, would you think they're from a kid's movie?
I would just think they're good pop songs.
Exactly. And this is what I like about it. I was like,
They're
you know,
just
like
pop
how
songs.
other kids' movies like Frozen, Moana, love them, not slating them at all. But if you were to hear to the soundtrack on the radio, you'd be like, okay, this is some sort of kids' movie. You could just tell it's very kids orientated music. But this, like, you could just listen to it and be like, these are great pop songs, and not make that connection. And that's what I loved about it. But have you heard the news, Andy, about K-pop Demon Hunters?
The whole there's going to be a trilogy thing.
Yeah, and
there might be a series thing.
Yeah, and they're going to potentially
there
do a live
might be a series of shorts, a live action.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
Look out for the K-pop fan cast coming soon from Andy and Lydia.
I would buy that merch. I don't care how sad that makes me sound, but it's so good. I've been listening to the soundtrack non-stop since watching it. It is so catchy.
I now have the tune inside my head.
Yeah, you can't escape it.
Before we move on to weird news, one big theme from both of those movies is you're not alone.
100%.
And if there are kind of stories that you're telling yourself, some people might call them lies, but if there are stories that are kind of negative about you, that you're telling yourself, that you're thinking about yourself, it's okay to kind of find someone trusted to kind of share that with and to try and work that out.
Got your coffee, got your shoes. It's time to dive in.
So, weird news. Firstly, less of a news, more of a really weird app that has made it to the news. The app is called Send Me to Heaven, where basically there's an app on your phone that registers how high and how fast and how high up you can throw your phone and catch it.
What was the point of that?
I believe the point is to try and get people to break their phones.
Oh, what? So they have to buy new ones?
Well, the idea is that you don't break your phone. I don't think the idea is you break your phone because but that's basically the joke. Is a silly app where it's all about trying to throw your phone up in the air and see how fast and how high it can be. I guess you compare it with other people. It was launched on both Apple and Android app stores. Apple kind of saw it and went, no, that is not happening, and pulled that. Still available on Android if you want an excuse to ruin your phone.
I'm surprised Apple didn't want it. Like, they're always wanting people to get their latest phone.
Yeah,
well, I guess
but
if
I
you've
think
got
there's ways and
insurance,
means.
yeah, but if you've got insurance and stuff, I guess it's making them lose out on money, isn't it? In terms of getting replacements and things like that. Fair enough. Very weird.
Now you've got a food-inspired story.
Food. So, thousands of hot dogs spill across a busy highway, according to Sky News. Crews mustered up the courage to dispose of thousands of sausages, with a fire chief saying, "I can tell you, personally, hot dogs are very slippery." I did not know that. Sorry, as if that was a statement from a fire chief. Anyway. So it was a busy road in Pennsylvania. A mechanical problem meant the truck scraped along the concrete dividers. So in America, they obviously, on the highways, they have those concrete dividers between different sides of the road. Lanes, thank you. And it ripped the trailer open and scattered the sausages across the highway. I've just read the joke. It was the worst Friday commute that motorists in Shrewsbury's had to contend with for years. And for those that didn't get the joke, it was spelled FRY-day. And so they had to do this massive cleanup because there was just sausages all over the road. Yeah.
And the gags continue. I'm going to save Lydia from stumbling over some of them.
It's just the fact that the fire chief was asked for a comment. I can tell you personally, hot dogs are very slippery. I did not know that.
Well, you know.
Like, what's he doing? Picking them up with his hands? Surely he's got a machine that can just sweep them up.
I'm not sure if there's machines that have been designed to sweep up hot dogs.
I don't mean specific machines to sweep up hot dogs. I'm talking about,
having a niche is one thing.
I don't think anyone would make any money off that machine.
That's the world's weirdest niche ever.
But I meant like a dustpan and brush, like a broom. That's me doing my dustpan and brush. If you didn't know that was me.
Now, before Lydia completely loses it, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for listening and or watching to What's for Tea. Please don't forget to subscribe to us on your favourite podcast provider or find us on the YMCX YouTube channel. Catch you next time.
Bye, guys.